And we got the lone wolf, Jared. What's up, Jared?
What's up?
Now look, we are on the hunt, folks, to try to get to Vegas. Me and Ladarius need your help to get Jerry a match. We've got Joe Henry on the docket. We think Matt Cardona. I prefer Joe Henry just so I could hear the music. But
no.
We can hear Matt Cardona, maybe Luke Gallows. I don't know. Maybe Drew Gulak. He just got fired, so maybe something can work there. But either way.
Gallows owes me a receipt. Let's not do Gallows.
So, what's up, guys? We just came from Backlash. We saw on Peacock. We had some intermittent weather issues, so we wanted to make sure that Ladarius could join us. So, how's the weather over there in Florida, Ladarius?
It was cloudy early this morning. Now I see some sunshine, so I'll take it at that.
Yeah. Well, no bad weather to mess your stuff up, so that's always good. All right. And Jerry, Jerry is Jerry, so how's it going, my friend?
It's going. Tired, sore, all that good stuff, but the normal.
I gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. If WWE can have more shows over in France, I don't think we all would be complaining, would we?
No.
I mean, SmackDown was hot. I
didn't get to see SmackDown, so
yeah, we're not going to review SmackDown, so you got some time to review that. But yeah, SmackDown was freaking hot though, and then you came off with that to now what happened with Monday night or with Backlash. I'm going to tell you that place was just hopping. I mean,
yeah,
I can't be upset with the way that show started. 5 matches, but man, the France crowd ate it up. What was y'all's overall view of Backlash? We'll start with you, Jerry.
Overall, I think it was a damn good show. They started with the perfect match with Owens and Randy against the Bloodline, and just the way that match ended was perfect too. So,
oh yeah. And what say you, Ladarius? What you thought of your impressions?
You know, it was a great pay-per-view. It goes to show you that sometimes it's the classic case of quality versus quantity. The 5 matches were fine because, and I can't overstate enough how great that crowd was for 2 days, from SmackDown pushing over to Backlash, and especially during the triple threat match with Bayley, Naomi, Timothy Stratton. I mean, they were all in, like every match they were, but that match in particular, the crowd played a big role in making this pay-per-view, to me, a really good success.
Yeah. If you're following us, we're on Facebook. We're also on the C-Double channel, which is C-Double 28. We got Ladarius's stuff. I know Jerry's going to probably pop his in, I believe. But honestly, guys, I thought that Backlash was freaking amazing. I really did. I loved the crowd makes everything better. It really does. I remember watching the Backlash with Puerto Rico, and I was like, man, the crowd is just so hot. There ain't nothing going to beat it.
Yeah.
Then you watch what happened on what was it? What we had on Friday night, and I'm going, they are drowning out the main event promo, and it's not even being disrespectful. They're that excited.
Yeah.
So, and there was some good stuff being said in that promo, by the way, which makes me hope that this isn't the only time we're going to see that match happen. But with that being said, let's just jump into it. We had Kevin Owens, Randy Orton versus the Bloodline. And a lot of us were thinking a surprise would happen. This was a thing we were all mentioning. It's got to be. It's got to be. Well, surprise on us. It was Tamaloa, the master of chops and the master of the 619, not so much. But, dude, it was quite interesting. I loved how the match started. The bell didn't even ring. We had people getting stunned. We had people. I was waiting for Randy to drop some guys, but
Yeah.
But also, I just enjoyed just the mayhem. And then, of all people, Nick Aldis, who's going to be eventually in this ring. I just have this funny feeling he's going to get drawn into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's almost too easy to put him in, but he's going to get put in this. But he comes out and he's like, "Y'all want to fight?" And not, "Oh, we can't do this. It's out of control." No, it's all right. No DQ, no count out. Best of luck, ref. Have fun.
Yeah.
And that match just went without a hitch. I thought it was great. The mayhem, especially adding no DQ, no count out.
Mm-hmm.
It was very natural because throughout the show, these guys were wanting to fight. These guys were trying to get at each other. It ended SmackDown, since Jerry didn't get to watch. It ended with Randy and Kevin beating up or going after the Bloodline.
Right.
So it almost felt like it was a continuation of that. So the start off, everyone fighting. And I love Randy Orton. He's he could be such a jerk. Teasing everybody like he's going to jump off the barricade, which isn't really that far.
I really enjoyed that. I was like, that's hilarious.
Yes. And he just goes, nah. And I mean, one of my favorite parts does involve Randy. He goes off and looking for Tonga.
And he's over there beating.
Yeah, Tonga's beating up on Kevin. And you hear Randy, where is he? And I'm going, Randy, my God, go back over to where he came from.
What's up?
Watch the screen, for God's sakes.
Right.
But this match was just, I thought, fun. They brought tables. They brought all weapons. The French crowd was even screaming for ECW. What was y'all's thoughts on the tag match overall and even at the outcome? We'll go with Ladarius.
Not really surprised at the ending. I kind of felt, we talked about the preview. I think, it didn't make any sense to have KO and Randy win it. There was no incentive for them to win it, in my opinion. And this just, to me, it just continues the Bloodline storyline that, post WrestleMania, we're seeing more people being added. We're seeing more elements being added. And if you kind of notice, like after the match, you saw backstage with Jey Uso, and you saw them walk by, and you saw the look on Heyman's face toward Jey. And I'm like, that lets me know that this storyline with the Bloodline is only going to get better. And it kept me curious, just like this match, even though like the no DQ thing. Yeah, I had no problem with that whatsoever. It was a great match, a lot of great spots, but I think the right tag team won, and just curious to see now with the new addition, where do we go from here? Because there's a lot of ways you could go with it, just seeing how Triple H and the team, how creative goes with it from there.
Yeah, I overall, like I said, I thought the match was great. It was a perfect start to the show, to the match. You knew they wanted to kill each other, so that was perfect. And then Nick coming out and making it, essentially a street fight. Essentially. The only thing I will say, I want to know where the hell they get those trash cans.
Yeah.
That damn thing crumbled.
I guess they needed something like last minute, so they were like, you know what, we need trash cans. They went to like the Dollar General or Lay Dollar Tree or whatever, and got a couple of trash cans.
Right. And those lids were nice too. Those lids were nice. They were different, but they were nice. And then you had the table spots, and fucking Tom was back from those shots. Like I've looked like that, and I've taken some nasty shots, but Jesus. And then the ending, like you said, we knew a surprise was going to happen, and then it came in the form of Tom's brother, Loa, which I didn't know they were even interested in him. That caught me by complete surprise.
You and everybody else too.
Because I saw the ref go, I was like, all right, here's Jacob. No? What the hell? So,
I was like, wait a minute, that can't be Jacob. That doesn't look like him.
Right. He's too skinny and too tall. and he's got short hair. So I'm interested to see if they're going to pull in the Gorillas of Destiny as a tag team. But I don't know if they're going to be able to call themselves that. I hope they can.
Well, they kept saying their names, and
Right. I mean, they've been
yeah.
New Japan, Gorillas of Destiny, Bullet Club. So I'm hoping.
Oh, hey, Joe. That's my buddy Joey. How you doing?
What's up, Joey?
How's it going?
Yeah, and don't worry, folks. April, aka Ron, decided to tell everybody what's up. What's up, R-Truth? I mean, Ron. But yeah, no, and not only that, but if you watch the pre-show with CM Punk and Big E, and by the way, until Punk gets better, Punk and Big E need to do a show every week. They are hilarious together. And unfortunately, I don't know if y'all heard, but CM Punk did not get to watch said match because he was trapped in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, and then trapped in the headquarters.
I believe he's out, but also
it's got Drew McIntyre all over it. It's
yeah, and not only that, but if y'all did not watch, at the Kentucky 500, I found CM Punk's doppelganger. Apparently, a man who's with Becky Lynch, who decided to do the unthinkable, shave his mustache and beard
and head.
Well, we didn't get to see the hair, but you know, you're probably right. But my thing is,
saved,
so.
Yeah. Well, let's go here. How do you destroy your enemy? You become your enemy. CM Punk or Seth Rollins is going mad, like Drew McIntyre. He's trying to become him. There's going to be a face-off too, and it's not going to be John Travolta, Nicolas Cage. It's Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Mark my words. That's my conspiracy theory.
I saw that picture of Seth.
Oh,
like, no.
I saw it, and at first I said, "Oh my God, no!" And then someone in the group that we were in going, "He kind of looks like CM Punk, though," and we're all like, "Oh God, no!" And I'm going, Drew McIntyre better not see this, or better yet, Drew needs to see this, just so we can hear him go off.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Sorry, by the way, my computer decided to job out, so I decided to restart the mother trucker.
Damn electronics.
Yeah, but thank God for a cell phone. But yeah, I mean, my thing is this: it's kind of what Ladarius said. You couldn't have the Bloodline debut, be this savage and attack and just beating people up and losing.
Yeah,
you can't retribution them. We can't do that to them. You know, it's like, okay, they're more savage, they're more evil. Okay, you lose. No, yeah. You know, I like that was a pure surprise because I mean, all of us were just going, what the hell is he doing here?
Yeah,
you know, right. It's like, hey, we ordered Jacob Fatu, not the Wish version, but you know. But honestly, I actually like it because they are tag team. The thing was, if you listen to commentary, they kept mentioning that their tag title reigns. They mentioned the name of the team. So it would not surprise me if they decide to go the route of, okay, guys, here we go. Tag team, Gorillas of Destiny, you know, or JOD, you know, or GOD, you know, it would not surprise me. I think Hunter is really tapped in. And here's the thing, whatever they do, they're making Tonga a star. Solo's becoming more of a star.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're not looking like off versions of other people. And that's huge. I mean, heck, we got people calling Okada Okody. And quite honestly, it's kind of funny when you really watch. Because, yeah, I mean, you turned to one of the best superstars in New Japan into a mid-carder, and a guy who really didn't make a whole lot of, you know, big numbers in Japan, he's now the superstar. So,
right.
I mean, I honestly, I think that's brilliant right there. So, all right. And then, like I said, Kevin Owens, you know, I like not only that, but did y'all even get to hear the Paul Heyman like promo with Nick Aldis on SmackDown? Like, I know you didn't get to watch, but did anyone hear that?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, Ladarius, you go into it, and I'll piggyback off, and Jerry will basically let you know what the heck happened. It was really cool, though. Go ahead, Ladarius.
I need something to drink. You go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, basically, basically Paul Heyman's doing the please get them out of this match for their own safety.
Mm-hmm.
Now Paul Heyman is the I care about everybody people.
Yeah, I noticed he was kind of protecting Kevin.
Yes.
After the match.
Yes, and basically, so and he goes, and Nick Aldis just looked and said, I thought you and Roman are always in communication. Right. Who's really making the orders here? And Paul goes, I simply, he says, I haven't heard from Roman since WrestleMania. And Nick Aldis went, okay, and then went, wait a minute. Yeah. And he goes, so who pulled Roman out? And Paul Heyman goes, I did, because I didn't want him associated with this. And it's like, oh, snap, this is getting even better. I thought that one promo was just kind of tied everything up together. Mm-hmm. But it was like, so Paul and CM Punk again, because he's in the pre-show, he goes, well, look, guys, when you are in a room full of savages, he says, and I'm not being, racist here. He goes, but when you're in a room full of savages and you're the only white guy, you kind of just need to buckle up and just stay for the ride. Yeah. He's like, and that's what Paul's having to do here. And it's like when he said that, I think Big E was about to spit his drink out. But him and Big E are just too dang funny together. I'm serious. They need to have a comedy show together, especially when they started hugging each other. But Big E even brought up the New Japan, and CM Punk's like shook his head like, whoa, we can say that now? He goes, yeah, it's a new era, dude. He says, sorry, 10 years ago it's kind of jarring when I hear it. So, but yeah, it's just the Nick Aldis and Paul Heyman, it was such a good promo because he pretty much isn't control. Yeah. He's not saying who the tribal chief is. And I think we know Solo is in charge, but I still think there's someone calling the shots. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Like you're getting reinforcements, but and here's the thing, if we remembered, Roman did say that Solo would be the next in line. Mm-hmm. He has said that many times before. So this isn't like all of a sudden he just took over. No, he knows his place was to be this.
Right.
So, but he can still be controlled by somebody, and I think it would be the final boss. And yeah, so go ahead. What do y'all think?
Yeah, like one of my buddies was saying something in another group chat would be, let me pull it up real quick. But basically, War Games, as we've talked about, and he was saying, what about Solo, The Rock? Well, I said The Rock instead of Jacob on their team. Solo, Rock, and Gorillas of Destiny versus Roman, Jacob, and the Usos. Which I think that would be better than putting Jacob with Solo, and that would still tie into Rock controlling Solo. But that's me.
I think you're going to get Jacob as like a final piece, but here's the thing. I think what would be epic is Roman, Sammy, and the Usos teaming up. Mm-hmm. Versus Solo, versus Solo, Gorillas, or no, hold on, sorry, messed up. Rock, Roman, and the Usos teaming up against Solo, Gorillas of Destiny, and a secret partner.
Right, which is what he was saying.
All right, and then what you would do is you would actually have, it would actually be Jacob Fatu, and then Rock comes in to even the odds. And that's when the turn happens.
Yeah.
Rock takes out Roman, and basically Rock goes, this is my bloodline, and you're not a part of it. Because we have not had an epic War Games heel turn And I mean inside the War Games, because that was WCW 101. If you were going to do War Games, someone had to turn.
I think the last time they did something like that was Undisputed Era when they did War Games in NXT because Roddy turned
Yes.
his team.
And yeah, exactly. And it was just one of those. That's why I say if you're going to do it, that's what I would go for. I think it would be epic if you did it right.
Right.
You know, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, Roman has to have the mic, or they have to have the title." I don't think you have to have the title.
No.
I really don't. All right, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna try to get through on my computer. So we're gonna talk about the triple threat match, which entails Bayley defending her title against Tiffany Stratton, and as well as Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. What was your guys' thoughts? Let's go to Jerry. What did you think of the match?
So for it to be a triple threat, and I hate triple threats in general, for it to be a triple threat, that was actually fairly entertaining. It was nice to see Tiffany be able to showcase a little bit against two different styles of opponents. You know, Bayley more ground wise and Naomi more aerial. A lot of people thought maybe Tiffany would win that. I honestly knew she wouldn't. I wouldn't have mind Naomi winning it, but I didn't want to cut Bayley so short. So I'm glad they kept Bayley as the champion. But like I said, overall, it was a good match for a triple threat.
Oh, yes. So I agree. What about you, Ladarius? What did you think?
Well, I think, like I said, you can make a case for the match of the night. I truly think, I don't mind triple threats simply because I'm all about when you have matches with a large amount of people, I want people to get their stuff in. And I think we kind of got that in here. And to me, once again, it may sound like a broken record, but like when you watch Tiffany Stratton, and especially what she did outside the ring, it's hard for me. It's hard for people not to say that she's going to be a champion, and I think that's going to be the next champion. I think we might get Bayley Stratton, maybe potentially at SummerSlam, maybe potentially. I wouldn't be against it. I think for that match, I think what the biggest takeaway was that obviously Bayley retaining, but how she retained, and then more importantly, how who took the pin, because that's very important. Because notice who took the pin, and in that match, and that let me know that listen, Tiffany Stratton, they're making it very clear that Tiffany Stratton is the next in line. She's a star. In that match, from like beginning to end, I didn't feel that there was no drop off. It was just straight consistency, which you like in the triple threat. So like Jerry's point, I'm not the biggest fan of triple threats because you have whatever, however, but I think if you do it right, you get what we saw over there in France. And I'm just looking forward to the continuation of Bayley. I think Bayley Tiffany Stratton feud with Naomi. I'm very curious to see what happens there, if she's going to still be in the mix after this as well. But all in all, once again, it just goes to show how great the women's division is now, and is what it's going to be once the draft kicks in.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a world of possibilities, and like I say, to me, I can make a case match of the night.
Yeah, and remember, rosters are supposed to lock in on March 6th or tomorrow, which is May 6th. So we'll find out who stays, who goes, how that happens. So with that being said, big ups, because I'm going to tell you guys, I thought that triple threat was really close to being the match of the night. Surprisingly, the main event actually lived up to be the match of the night. But I just thought it was right up there. I thought the triple threat, that everyone got their moments, got their shine, got their, clear points in where you were like, okay, if this happens, I'm good with. Oh, if this happens, this is good with. Tiffany Stratton's going to be a star. They've really got her ready. And also that's on her. She's put that work in. She's put it in and worked, and it's coming together. We'll talk about some other things that happen, but remember we got Nia Jax that just showed up also. I think you might see her and Bayley go for the belt a couple of times before we have Tiffany either cash in, because remember, we got the Queen of the Ring also. So that's going to play a role. Qualifying matches are going to start May 6th also on Raw as well as on SmackDown. So be ready for that. And then the third match was the World Heavyweight title match. Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. And let me tell you something. I'm going to start this off because I got to say it. It's so refreshing to watch a Jey Uso match without the Pat McAfee annoyance factor. Because you saw how the crowd responded to him, not Pat. And that's what I keep saying. I like the entrance. I like the music. France took it to another level with the flashlights, the up and I like him coming through the crowd. I thought that was great. Jey Uso's matches, though, are the same recipe. Super kick, spear, uppercut, spit. I'm going to yeet, and that's about it. I love him. I love the character. We got to shake it up a little bit with Jey. I mean, it's like this. I hate to say someone's a tag team wrestler.
Right.
But I kind of feel that's where Jey is, and not just that. You're kind of seeing it getting exposed because this match was not bad.
No.
But it's for a world title, and not one time I went, oh, man, Jey may just pulled this off. I thought Damian did good. But, guys, I'm having this issue, and I'm hoping y'all can help me out here. Damian, are you a heel or are you a face? Because right now, I really hate what you're doing. You tell people you could do this on your own. And during the match, let's be honest, he needed the help to win.
Yeah.
And then he tries to pull face stuff on the point of stopping the fight. And I'm going,
beat down, yeah.
You're part of Judgment Day. You make it very clear. If you're not with Judgment Day, you're going to get beat down. And now you're trying, it's very murky. And I'm going, you can't really kick Damian Priest out unless you've already got someone in mind to take his role.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
And I don't see anybody taking his role.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to throw it to you guys. I've given my spot. What do y'all think? Jerry, who went last? First?
I think Jerry went first last.
Yeah. All right. Let's Ladarius.
I don't remember. It's Sunday. Yeah, I remember.
I know. This is how we do it on a.
We'll just point to people and go from there.
We're going live.
Commercials? No commercial.
We're just shooting live.
We're commercial for the first hour. What?
That means more commercials in the second and third.
Can we show a little spot? No.
No picture in picture. We ain't got that capability.
Can we go to Catering Gorilla? Maybe. But my overall feeling, to me, it was always going to be an issue post Seth Rollins, whoever had the belt, which it was always going to be an issue of where we're going to go directionally. And to me, my issue with Damian Priest is it's nothing, like, to your point, I have no issues with him in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any. It's just when you're trying to figure out, he's been a United States Championship, but listen, you're a heavyweight champion now. We're on a different level here, and so you're going to be under the microscope just a little bit more. And if we haven't had the conversation of whether you're face or heel, that to me is a huge problem.
Yeah.
Because as much as we want to, not to bring up like when Roman Reigns, we knew who Roman Reigns was.
Yeah.
Even with Seth Rollins, we knew who Seth Rollins was. We knew the character. We knew who they were. Very consistent throughout their reigns and how their character. With Damian Priest, it's like when you're watching Raw, it's like, oh God, he's really heelish, and then next thing you know, 15 minutes later, my guy is a face, and you're like, he's trying to be a heel under the guise of being a face.
Yeah.
And that to me, and even if you juxtapose the two, it's still It's still weird either way. And like in that match, if you say you don't need help, my guy, then what was JD McDonough doing out there? What was Judgment Day doing there? And to your point about Judgment Day, my whole theory, it goes around Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hate to be the guy that keeps being. I believe somehow Liv Morgan gets in the group. She infiltrates the group via Dominic Mysterio, and somehow, because she's like she said, she made it clear she's going to take everything Rhea had, and Rhea kind of being who people felt who was the leader of Judgment Day anyway. Liv takes that role, and when you kind of saw it back, I was like, there's kind of dysfunction in the group, and that just adds to it. To me, like as for the match, like this, to me, that's the South of Heaven from the top rope. I really like that.
That was cool.
I was kind of like, I really didn't like the move at first. I'm not gonna lie, but when he did it at WrestleMania, and then he did it now, I'm like, okay, it's like okay, now it has more meaning now. So when he does it, like okay, it's more watchable. But as for Jey Uso, I think something's missing. I think what you saw in that crowd from France with the Yeet, he's over beyond belief. Like there's no doubt about that. He's over or not. But at some point, the question is he plateauing? What do you do to get him? Oh, because we've seen this in the past. Like to me, the biggest example in my head was Cesaro.
Yeah.
Like to me, Cesaro felt like a guy who we all felt like, most felt like, okay, he could be a world champion. Like we thought he was the WWE. We thought that. But something was missing. He was a good mid-card guy, US, but something was missing. And I kind of feel that we're kind of getting that with Jey Uso. I think he's a good singles guy, but something is just missing because he's over, but something's not there. I'm not saying he goes heel. I don't think that's the case. I just think something has to change because it's like, to your point, to the match formula, it's kind of like we're getting the same thing, which is fine. But when we're talking about a championship match, it has to be a little bit. It was okay at WrestleMania with Jimmy when he fought Jimmy. Like it was okay because there was no title. There was just whatever. We're fighting for a championship. There has to be a different level. Yeah. And to me, that's my 2.5 cents on it. Yeah.
All right.
I agree. Overall, I thought the match was really good. Jay could have took him a little more serious, so to say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how to word this. For Damian to be the champion and to be as big as he is compared to Jay, it should have took a lot more to get him down.
Thank you.
Yeah. The multiple super kicks and then the jumping super kick in the corner. Yeah, that should have put him down. But again, to the fact of not needing Judgment Day's help, why were they there?
I mean, I get the Judgment Day coming to help because, hey,
right.
that's our guy. I get that.
But, I do too.
Yeah. Now, I got to throw this out there, and then I'm going to give it back to you, Jerry, I promise. But Ladarius, you said something, and I love this. Dominic obviously wasn't there. Liv wasn't there. If I'm Raw, when everyone's talking, something needs to be said. Where were you? And some are Liv going, maybe let it pass. It was great to spend time with somebody that understands me and is, maybe not 100%, but understands what I'm going through. And Dom, maybe with another kiss mark on his cheek or something. And this time, Damien's like, what the hell's this?
Mm-hmm.
You not telling us something? And, more, I don't mind that. That, I think, is clever because, yes, you're going to, Liv should try to infiltrate Judgment Day. She should try to break them up. Destroy everything that Rhea touched. That is a revenge tour. That is more psychological than anything else.
Yeah.
But, involve her, and Dom, especially if Dom can't work.
Yeah, they need to. Because like you said, Dom's out. They've got to keep him tied in somehow instead of just sitting at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the heat he gets,
Yes, even if he's just a mouthpiece, like
Yeah.
because,
and
like you said, the heat that he brings to the Judgment Day, they need that heat.
and not just that, but Liv, who was getting cheered last Monday night on Raw, now if people see that she has Dom with her, or maybe Dom's not saying nothing, but we haven't
Yeah.
really heard, but and yes, God, I'm trying to make it manifest. I want to see Dominic on a pole match or freaking custody of Dominic in SummerSlam, Rhea versus Liv. That would be freaking awesome. Let's
No.
do it again.
We are not putting him on a pole, a contract, or a forklift.
Oh, come on, Jerry. You're taking the fun out of everything, man. You would have bought this for a few months ago.
But overall, in the end, I think that, like you said, Damien's trying too hard to be a heel, but with tendencies of being a face, being a baby. It's like he wants to be that in between.
Yeah.
And he can't right now. Not with you either. As a champion, you either need to be A or B.
Yeah. Win all costs or work it where you could get everything you want. I agree. And I mean, look, I think it's like this. I think there's a road for Jay, but I don't know if it's the world title.
Yeah.
But now, if Sammy's still champion, who's to say that we couldn't have an Uso versus Zayn match for the Intercontinental title? And Jay is the one that knocked Sammy off the belt.
Right.
I mean, that could be something, and then you really have something fun. I heard somebody bring that up, and I went, I could see that. That'd be work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm intrigued. I was wondering because I thought with the Solo crew, I thought they would interfere.
I did too.
And I thought that would make it to where Jay goes to see Aldis and goes, I don't care how you do this. You get me to SmackDown. I'm going for those. I'm going for my brother and those idiots.
Yeah.
And
I thought the same thing when they did that pass through.
Yeah.
In the backstage. I thought either they were going to somehow screw him or Jacob was going to show up.
Yeah.
And we were going to have two surprises and Jacob screwed.
Exactly. I mean, I really was. I was thinking that would be the way to go. But all right. Now, the next match has brought a lot of interesting comments, a lot of interesting views. So we'll chop it up. And again, we're not trying to disparage anybody. I'm not, but I mean, we're going to talk about what we saw.
Yeah.
So, Jerry, I'm going to throw it to you first.
Yeah. So,
because you've worked, so you've seen the degrees of workers you've had to deal with.
So overall, as a match, they got the point across.
Yeah.
Jade is a champion. Jade is who they want. So forward and so forth.
And they'll be on both brands, so they'll be working a lot more too.
Right. And now to get into those comments.
Yeah, they're rough.
How are you going to blame Jade for not knowing who the legal person is in the ring?
Yeah.
When Kyrie was told multiple times, loudly, you're not legal. You tagged out. Asuka's legal. And then all the other botches and stuff, which weren't Jade's fault. They were on Asuka and Kyrie.
Yeah.
They weren't Jade's fault. They weren't Bianca's fault. But you got all these people that want to bitch because Jade came in her third match and got a title. Okay, and?
Yeah.
They want her as a champion. They want her as a main event superstar. They want her to be ready.
And the best way to do it
is a tag team.
And
with
to float her.
Yeah. Been there for 10 years.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10 years now. Yeah. And is that main event caliber star?
It's not connected. All right. We'll get Ladarius back. So just give him a minute.
And to your point, they're going to be working, both shows now. So she's going to get those reps in. She's going to get that TV time and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why the fans have to be, oh, well, she was a star in AEW and now they're just making her a joke. No. Yes, she was a star in AEW, but she reached her pinnacle in AEW that they were only going to let her reach.
Yes.
They weren't going to put her as the women's champion.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but they weren't.
Mm-mm.
They're too focused on Britt and everybody else to put her at that main event spot. So the best move for her was to go to WWE and become a star, become a women's champion in the future. And you're going to complain about it.
Yeah. All right. We got Ladarius back. Tornado whished him, but we got him back. Pulled him back.
Yeah,
Gotta stay away from those twisters. I tell you what.
It's a twister. It's a twister.
You weren't gone for long, I promise.
You just miss me bitching and complaining. You're good.
Yeah, I semi-heard it. I had to take a call and I hit the wrong. Instead of me hitting mute, the whole.
You're good.
Forget it. But all I'm going to say is this. Now, I know predictions. I know I picked, the Kabuki. But listen, I was glad I was wrong. Here's the thing. People who are complaining, oh, well, Jade just got. You don't understand. Or I'll put it this way. You refuse to understand the way she's being built.
Mm-hmm.
People are making it seem like, oh, she's coming in and like she's getting a singles title. It's like, no, she's getting a tag title. They're building her with arguably the face of the women's division in Bianca Belair, who's now a Grand Slam champion now.
I thought so. I thought I was right.
So people complain, and like to your point, Jerry, like people blaming Jade, like you could hear it was the champion's fault.
Yeah.
Like it was very clear, like you're not legal. What are you doing? Asuka was,
and then they just let it go.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Forget it. They're like, you know what? We said it enough. We're good. And the fact that people coming after Jade, I'd rather you just say you don't like Jade because anything that you say beyond the fact that, oh, well, she didn't deserve. Listen, there have been plenty of people who walked into a company and won a title.
That's my brother.
Exactly. and maybe not even 3 maybe 5, but even and odds for this one, under 10 matches, they have a championship. We're talking a singles title.
Yeah.
Literally leapfrogging everyone. And we're complaining about Jade Cargill being a tag team champion. That's the conversation we're having. And it feels idiotic to have that conversation because people are ignoring how she's being built. They're ignoring the fact that, well, Jade doesn't know. Listen, Jade is still learning. You can still be a champion and still learn.
Yeah, Jade's been wrestling for less than 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's like if at your job, you have to be. If you're perfect at your job, then you wouldn't have a job. You're always learning. I don't care whether you've been in it 3 years, 5 years. You're always learning at your job.
Yes.
Even champion like Damian Priest is literally learning because he's never had that type of exposure as he's had now.
Exactly.
And no matter what other company he was.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're sitting there going on Jade Cargill for a tag title, this is like arguing about nothing. And the fact that here's what happened when Bianca and Jade won. They did a multitude of things. One, they made the belts relevant. No disrespect to the Kabuki Warriors, because
they never defended them.
Yeah,
I think they won the belts. They said like the end of January. And I'm like, well, I would have said December. I thought it was longer than that.
Yeah.
So now they're creating relevance to these titles. And look at how you have tag teams like Candice LeRae, Eddie Hartwell. You still got Katana Chance. And you got Caden Carter and Katana Chance. You're building your tag team division now. You're having opponents, and they can go across both brands. But to the overall point, if we're sitting here bashing Jade over a title, then obviously you weren't watching WCW, because literally people
or at times AEW.
People just walking in. Oh yeah, let me come here, brother, and then all of a sudden we're putting a big gold belt on him. Like we're complaining about Jade. Listen, this is her. Yeah, people say, "Oh, it's her third match." I don't care. That's like saying if you're a baseball player, oh, this guy sucks because they haven't hit a home run in 5 games or hit in 5 games. Doesn't mean they suck. Doesn't mean they're terrible.
Yeah, I got you.
And so at the end of the day, I'll say this, I don't want to take up all the time. The fact of the matter is this. If we're complaining about Jade Cargill, go outside, go fly a kite, go touch some grass, do something. Because at the end of the day, Jade's a star. We're gonna get Jade and Bianca, folks. You got to be patient. You got to let it cook.
Mm-hmm.
Let her enjoy. Like, we're watching history. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Shut up and watch it, and stop blaming Jade Cargill because you have no idea what you're talking about. Because like what Jerry said, literally nothing in that match was Jade's fault.
No,
it was so. I'm over the comments on it. I'm done. Let me get some water. I'm done.
and I mean, to your point, people bitching about her coming in and getting a title shot. Like we said, WCW, AEW, Impact. Hell, Dolph Ziggler went to Impact.
Yep.
And less than 3 shows had a freaking heavyweight title shot.
Yeah.
Went to Japan and won a title.
Yep. I'm like, bro's been on the job.
Edge or Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
TNT champion, not even less than a year in the company. Hell, not even less than 6 months.
Yeah. So
like they do it with everybody.
Yeah.
If that show thinks you're gonna be a star, they're gonna push you to be a star. Yeah. Independence, same thing. You know, Hunter has been heavyweight champion at just about every show he's worked.
Yeah.
And the kid's been wrestling for less than a year. But he has that potential. He has that star power. He's been Southern Pride heavyweight champion. He's been our heavyweight champion at GCW. He's had titles at Southern Honor. Like, if you're going to be a star, they're going to push you to be a star.
Right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolute nonsense.
All right, comment from Uncle Steve. He said, "What up, fellas? Love the show. Cody and AJ was straight up old school. His prediction: Jade will turn on EST by year's end." Uncle Steve, you're not off by that.
Yeah. I forgot. I'm wearing the shirt too.
Yeah. No, you all good. Yeah. All right, so I've got to say my piece. Now, here's the thing. I am not going to fault Jade. Like you said, third show, third match. This is what's going on. She's been in relative some squash matches, so, this was obviously going to be a longer. But I got to actually go off on the Kabuki Warriors because Kairi Sane this may have been her best showing, but this isn't.
Froze again. We lost him again.
Yeah. But yeah, he but the thing is this. You don't want to blame an experienced tag team like the Kabuki Warriors.
Exactly.
You
don't want to blame the green kid.
Yeah, it's I always use like at the classroom setting like let's blame one kid screws up that then clearly no, they wouldn't do that, they would. And right. It's not fair to Jade, but listen. Yeah.
Don't you love it when you're on a point and and the computer crashes? Tell you.
We got you, C-Dub. We got you.
I know you did. But no, I mean, so I will say this. I thought that there was just some awkwardness in the match. And that's where I have a hard time going off on Jade because she's keeping up the best she can.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, for all those that are saying she shouldn't be in this spot, shut up, because the woman got drafted the first pick with SmackDown's pick on night 2. They obviously have plans for her. Why not? So, in my view, what you want to do is you want to keep her going with Bianca. You may want to keep them teamed up for a while. Don't just necessarily break them up so quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you have to go. If you're trying to take care of this team, you got to nurture it the best way you can. I personally feel that when you see Jade, she's going to get better.
Yeah.
And Jerry, how many times have we said it? How many reps are you getting? How many times are you getting in that ring?
Yep.
All right. And not only that, what's the one thing that sucks to sell more? Bumps or taking strikes, especially if you're not used to it.
All of it, actually.
Yeah,
Strikes,
strikes. Because, like when you do a back fist and you swing and hit nothing, but she doesn't want to screw the opponent because, that would be making her look bad.
Yep.
You have to do what you can. So that's why I'm like looking at this and I go, I think fans need to understand. You've got to let this play out. You've got to. This isn't bad. This is good. Because not only that, are we really upset that Bianca is going to be going to different shows?
Right.
Are we upset that Jade's going to be on different shows? I'm not. I think that's going to be good for them. I hope they hold it for a long time because they need to. Let's get those women's titles to be prestigious. Let's get them to where,
those women's tag titles have been a joke since they brought them in.
I mean, the thing was, people were saying that they were curses.
And they were cursed because everybody that held them got hurt.
Yeah. So.
But I'm going to go back for a second. I guarantee you, if they would have put Jade straight to NXT, we wouldn't have any of this.
Yeah, we wouldn't be having. Look, yeah, I mean, but I'm gonna piggyback with Jerry. Jerry's 100% right. If this was like, let's just say an NXT pay-per-view of PLE,
yeah,
we would say, oh, it's NXT. She's learning, but because of the fact it's on the main roster,
they fast forward her,
and people are like, well, she skipped.
That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah. Like, well, she skipped it, like probably skipped a couple of grades and went up and and went to the main roster. So it's easy to bash.
Right.
It's easy to bash
the
situation, but here's the reality. It's even harder to bash the Kabuki Warriors at the same time because we know how experienced they are. We know how good they've been anywhere in any company they've been at. We know they've been good. So it's hard to blame them. For others, well, it's easy to blame Jade because they felt like she was kind of fast-tracked.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
In which I understand that because literally she went from Nightmare Factory to AEW to WWE in less than 3 years.
Yes.
And I understand that, but like we were just saying, you can't bash her. It's not her fault.
No, and I mean, I think that's what people forget about is the fact that, yes, it's a process, but let's be honest. Are we going to be upset if Jacob Fatu shows up to wrestle on the main roster when he didn't wrestle in, what's call it, in NXT? Tama, or, the Gorillas of Destiny. There are guys that are coming up also that haven't wrestled on the main roster. So that's where I want to go. Before you want to throw it all on Jade, which I think is BS, that's where I say I wouldn't go that far. I think, did she look great? No, I think there were some points she did look bad. But here's the thing. It takes two to tango. Yep. And here's what I got to go. They were able to make this work and get to the go-home spot. And that's where
switching her around, throwing her.
Oh, Jesus.
That was great.
And the way she did it was just phenomenal. And then, Bianca just putting the exclamation point on it. And I got to go here. Give it time. On SmackDown, when they did that one move where she does the handspring and Jade catches her and throws her down, that was freaking awesome. I mean, that's where I'm like going, okay, I could get past some rough spots because I know what they're doing here. And look, this isn't. I'm not gonna, baby it. I'm not gonna say, she didn't look bad, but I'm gonna also say though, it's not all on Jade.
She didn't look the worst in the
Yeah,
match.
she didn't. I thought, honestly, if I had to put blame on who looked bad, I thought Kyrie looked bad in some spots. And I hate to say it, but sometimes I go, "Are you even hitting people?"
Yeah.
And I mean, there's points in the match. She was hilarious, but it was like, you got these super strong Amazon women against.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, the Kabuki warriors that look like, if you cussed at them in a certain line, they would cut you. But that's about it.
Yeah.
So, all right, I danced around that. I think I did good. I don't want no one to yell at me for that. So, all right. So before we get into the main event, they announced that the King of the Ring, they're going to start doing the matches. Now, we don't know if these 4 matches are the only 4 in the first round or maybe there was more coming.
Right.
Because I noticed a name not being on there, and I want to know if you guys noticed it. First match they mentioned was Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio versus Kofi.
That could be good.
That can be really good. That can be really sneaky good. I can't hate that one. Ilya and Ricochet. I am pissed about this one.
That's the one I don't agree with.
Okay, good, because I'm feeling the same way, but I'll explain my reason and see if we vibe. And then Sheamus versus Gunther. And I'm really pissed about this one. Because I don't want Sheamus to lose to Gunther again. I want somehow Sheamus to either make it to the semis, something.
Yeah.
But the match that I just don't like is Ricochet and Ilya, because Ricochet, you just put that speed title on, which is kind of cool. You want to kind of keep him going because he's got some motivation. Yeah.
Am I the only one that realizes that speed title is a hell of a lot like the Global Force heavyweight title?
Okay. God damn, Jerry, I did not notice that. I didn't think about that. It does, doesn't it?
Almost the exact same.
And this is why Jerry's on the roster, folks. This is why Jerry's on the panel. He's got the color. I mean, I sent an invite to my boy Berto, but apparently he's not. He doesn't want to talk wrestling unless CM Punk's in it. But anyway, love you, Berto. We miss you. But for real, I just got to say, he's got that momentum there.
Right.
Ilya's going to debut. And oh God, why can't we just shuffle it up again? Put Finn versus Ilya and Drew versus Ricochet. I mean, I wouldn't be upset. I'm just like going, I just don't like the placement of the matches if that's the way it goes.
And that's kind of my point. I think Ilya and Ricochet are going to be good. I think it's going to be a hell of a match.
Oh, it will.
But I don't think it should be a first round match.
No,
that needs to be a second or semi-final match.
God,
I'm calling it now. Gunther and Ilya are gonna meet.
Oh yeah,
I'm calling it. They're gonna work each other.
It's destiny, as Ilya said. God,
and that is gonna be nasty.
Guys, if you haven't seen any of Ilya and Gunther / Walter matches, go watch. Oh, that man. I fell in love with Ilya watching those matches because I was like, dear God. What do you think, Lydia? And also the women's, real quick. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Zoe versus... Oh, God. Who is Zoe going to play?
Find it real quick.
Yeah. I know Zelina versus Shayna. I know Asuka versus... I want to say Lyra. And Io versus Natalia. But I can't remember who... God, who is Homegirl going to face? Zoe Stark is, I think, supposed to face...
Let's see.
Zoe's facing. Okay, so it's going to be Zoe Stark and Ivy Nile.
All right, yep.
Versus Zelina Vega, Asuka versus Lyra Valkyria, Io Sky versus Natalia.
I hope they don't kill Lila.
Oh no, Lyra's got to win. Lyra has to win this. Lyra has to come out of this bracket, I think.
Yeah, I hope they don't kill her.
No, I don't think so. I think not only that, Becky made her in that match.
Yep.
She carried that belt for a while. I would be stunned if Lyra. I'll tell you. Here's my prediction. I think it'll be Shayna and Lyra in the semis.
I can see that.
Either that or Zoe. For some reason, they like Zoe, but I think Lyra is going to be the one. Lyra is the next one.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't pick her to be on Raw and just kind of go, okay, yeah, we might use you. No, you're going to use her. She's her. I mean, I think her character work needs some work, but I think ring wise, she'll be perfect, especially for the tournament setting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to know how many matches are we going to have first round? Because they said 3 weeks, so you want to do your first round, then your second, and then your third.
Yeah.
So that's how I would do it.
Yeah, because there's going to be some on SmackDown to be announced. They're going to announce it tomorrow, or so there's going to be more matches announced. That'll be on Friday night. That'll be on SmackDown. So we'll likely get just a matter of.
Is what, the 25th? Yeah.
Yeah. 25th. It's 24th and 25th. We're going to have this like double thing that they did last time.
Yeah. So they've literally got the way they need to do it is do this week's first, and then the second week next week, and then the third week they need to either do all of it by the 24th, or just do all of it next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be able to pull it out if not.
I just noticed Xavier Woods wasn't in it, and that just made me go, God, man. I mean, Zay's kind of needing to be in it because of, the way everything went.
Yeah.
And I'm just like going, I really would hate for him not to be in it unless he's injured. Now, if he's injured, I get it. But yeah, that was definitely something that I noticed when I was checking out everything. So I got to go here, guys. It's main event time. What was your thoughts, AJ Styles? And by the way, the crowd has been phenomenal throughout this thing.
Yeah.
They had a little lull in that tag team, but they still were able to keep it going, which I was impressed with.
Yeah.
The introductions were really good. AJ coming out. I love the touch with his gear, saying that it was redone when he beat Dusty. I thought that was beautiful.
Just gonna
Cody.
say, Rick did an amazing job on that gear.
Oh, yeah, he did. And then you had, our guy, Cody, coming out, and both our guys, because this is a Georgia main event. Thank you very much, WWE. You appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because
the only way that could have been better is if Aja was the ref.
Oh, that would have been great. Yes, I know. But Jessica was, so we got to give it to her. She did great.
Yeah, Jessica did great.
Oh, so what were your guys' opinions on this? I'm going to go here. I thought it was a classic. I know a lot of people were like, oh, Cody's this, Cody's not being entertaining. My funny part, the favorite part was I laughed about was, we're seeing too much of Cody. We need Roman. Roman would do this. I'm like, y'all do remember last year when Roman lost or won? We didn't see him for a few months.
Yeah.
He was nowhere to be found. So stop with how Roman would make the show better. I'm going, Roman is just doing his normal thing. I love Roman too. I'm hoping the best, when he comes back, but I'm just going, Lord, revision is history.
Yeah.
But like, what was it? The argument was, well, Cody doesn't wrestle enough. Cody wrestles mellow. Well, Cody wrestles too much. Okay, I can't help.
Yeah. You can't win with the fucking with wrestling fans.
No, you can't, or media. So, and Triple H will tell you that too, which was funny because someone got their feelings hurt. And but yeah, AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes. I'm going to let, I'll go ahead and let you go, Jerry, and then we'll go to Ladarius.
Okay. So like we said, the touch to the past, almost 20, actually, I think it was 20 years. And
21, yeah.
To the point of him working Dusty, which he is the only person to do that, to work Dusty and Cody, both.
Him and Randy are in that same category.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I forgot about that. But
yeah.
Well, outside of WWE, he is the only one to wrestle Dusty outside of WWE. And then, like we said, the touch with the purple gear to kind of symbolize that match with Dusty. Overall, I thought the match was pretty good. I mean, yeah, it could have been better, but it was good. I was kind of hoping to get a little more out of the whole background of both, being from Georgia and this, that, and the other, and Bullet Club, which they kind of touched on Bullet Club, of both being leaders of Bullet Club. But like I said, I mean, overall, the match was good. The finish was pretty good. I couldn't complain about the ending. I thought it was great.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I mean, that's what we should say. Ladarius, what say you, my friend?
No, I kind of echo Jerry. I think it was a great match. You can't argue with the ending of it. I hope we get to see this one more time, somewhere down in the future. I don't know, wherever down the road, because it was a great match. I think overall, like I said, to Cody Cutters and, like I said, I just hope people can now let Cody breathe a little. He got his first title defense in. We can breathe a little, because people were like, people started making judgments about Cody. Like, we can breathe now. He has a title defense under his belt. So, and it was a great title defense against a guy in AJ Styles who, like I say, I hope we see this match again, because listen, AJ Styles can still go when he's healthy. He can do it with the best of them. So I just hope, my biggest takeaway is I hope people are satisfied. We can stop complaining about, some folks can stop complaining about Cody Rhodes, and let the guy who's got a title defense, let him breathe a little, because they were already going at him, and my guy haven't stepped in the ropes and defended anything. So, and also shout out to Jessica Carr, and once again shout out to the crowd, made the match once again that much better. So all in all, great match. Good stuff from both guys, both Georgia boys.
Yeah. If I saw this match in the States, I would probably say this pay-per-view and this match would be 4 out of 5 stars, or however you want to say it. Because of the crowd, it got elevated to a 5. And I'm not BSing about it. I think the crowd, because if the crowd is into it, it just makes everything. Huh?
So the crowd makes the show 10 times better.
It does. And honestly, you could feel it in this match. I mean, especially the fact that they were able to keep it going all the way to the main event. They did not slow down.
Yeah.
And you're the one that's ending the show. And that has to mean something to these guys. And then add the fact Cody is naturally able to get you to fall for him. He's going to get you drawn in. You're going to, you're going in with each punch, the kickouts, and I will say, like you said, it could have gone a little longer. It could have, but I think for what we got, I think it was perfect. My thing is this: damn, he could sell. Because there were points I'm like, did he die? Is his shoulders going to kill him? Is what the back, like the superplex in my head? I'm going, okay, was that a screw up, or was that just AJ actually, doing something to counter and Cody going, all right, watch this, bam, because I could see both of them doing that. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it would be a bad thing. I would just be like, wow. You got 2 guys that can be on the fly. And I think that's what something people don't look at with these guys. I thought Cody and I thought AJ sold this match great. He showed that how much this means to him, how bad he wanted this. Cody, it's like this. Everyone's worried about this title run. I'm not worried about it. I just want him to have it. And then now that he has it, let's see what he does with it. What can he be with this title? How does he make his mark with this title? And again, doesn't have to be a long reign. Do we want it to be? Hell yeah. We want Cody to have this moment. But, I think honestly, you want this to go as long as it can. And then all these people, it's funny. Someone was like, well, he can't have it past this point because, it's about having Roman to win the belt again. What, so he can finish with the title again? I mean, we've been begging for Roman not to have the belt, to give it to someone else. This is one of those you would want to go take it to a next level, as in, hey, maybe Cody goes against Braun at WrestleMania. Or Gunther. Or, So I'm just kind of hoping that maybe we don't see Cody dropping the belt to what we want, as in, hey, let's see it if it's someone else.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what you have to do. You have to make this title mean something, and also let these guys become the stars that they are. And honestly, the crowd's going to be there. You're going to all these foreign countries to these shows. Fans are going to be all up about this. Go for it. Lean into it. And by the way, Cody is very over in a lot of these places too. So and by the way, he doesn't have the same issue as Damian has, where he's not wondering if he's a face or a heel. He's strictly face. He goes full throttle into it. And that's what I'm saying when I talk about with Damian. It's like you have to make a choice one way or another. But yeah, I thought this main event was fun. I thought it was great. I love the ending. I thought it did. The surprise was that there was only one Crossroads to win the match. But hey, you're not Roman Reigns powers, so we'll let you have that. But I'm hoping AJ and Cody, we get another one, because they really put on a great match. So, and final thoughts of the pay-per-view. What do you guys thought about it?
Go ahead.
Go for it, Ladarius.
I'll pass it back. I thought we were playing a game show. I'll just pass it back. Like on Double Dare.
Hey.
Double Dare.
Take or pass.
I like to buy a cue. No.
You jackrabbit. Now I got to give you a U.
Overall, it was a great pay-per-view. Like I said, I hope that we get more of these PLEs across, out of the United States. Not like being anti-United, but it goes to show you. We saw with Backlash in Puerto Rico last, and you're seeing it. I hope maybe use Backlash at the pay-per-view where you take these international, like take one of your PLEs and just kind of take them. It just kind of take it, across the pond, across the water, and make it work. Because what we saw in France were fans that from the opening bell to Cody winning to the very end, they were in it, they were engaged, and that's what made this pay-per-view even better. Complaining about there's only 5 matches, but all the 5 matches were good, and in a way they each kind of told its own story. Because like I said earlier, sometimes we got to focus on quality over the quantity.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 quality matches would beat, stacking 7, 8 matches and only, and only half were just really relevant. These 5 matches were good. We got it. And like I say, I hope they take maybe Backlash and we start seeing another one across this, they're doing with Money in the Bank. But this pay-per-view was just great. And I just hope to see what happens now post Backlash going, especially with Jade and Bianca with the women's tag titles.
Yep. And what about you, Jared? What do you think?
I mean, overall, the pay-per-view, I thought, it was good. I mean, I was one of those that was kind of upset it was only 5 matches long. But I get the point of what they were trying to do. They were trying to make the matches mean more and last a little longer. And so, I mean, I'm not that upset about it. But overall, the pay-per-view was really good. it was fire from beginning to end. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I thought the pay per view as a whole, the fans made that thing, and it's like that is what makes everything perfect when you're watching the show. And if you're checking out and going, man, what's going to happen? What are they going to do here? What's next? I think that's what you want. I think you got it with the first match with the surprise of Tom and Lower. And look, I think that is going to be as impactful as if you did have Fatu, because now you're going to be able to bring the Guerrillas of Destiny. And, something that just kind of popped in my head. If you start bringing some of these Bullet Club guys over, what in a crazy way, the person that's in charge isn't Roman or The Rock? What if it's Cody? Because of the Bullet Club ties. You could.
If you want to talk about Bullet Club ties and stick to the bloodline ties, what about Bad Luck Fale?
Yeah.
He's the only original member not in WWE.
And by the way, another one to think about, the OC is technically on SmackDown.
Yes.
So, that's another thing. So, and God knows those guys need something. I mean, we need to make sure Luke stays busy. But yeah, I thought
he just had a kid, so
got a little busy. Hold on, quasi busy. You know how that guy goes. The Boneyard match can't sell itself, pal. I gotta say though, I'm looking forward to seeing what's next, especially now with the King of the Ring being announced. I'm concerned about some of the drawing of matches that they pulled up, but I'm not because I'm mad about it. I just go, come on, let's make it a little bit, because there are certain guys I want to see advance. But it's all good. We'll see how it goes. Gunther is definitely going through it, no matter what, and that's the thing.
Honestly,
yeah, me too. Now if they really want to throw us, they could let him lose the first match, and that would be freaking wild. But yeah, I just think he needs to be through. And I'm like I said, I'm thinking that you're going to see a good showing by everyone that's the NXT call-ups. I'm looking forward to seeing them. My thing is this: we know 8 matches on Raw, and that's not counting what's going to probably get called or talked about, and who else is going to be out there. So, what do y'all think? And what do what's your feelings heading towards Raw?
Go ahead, Ladarius.
Yeah.
Double Dare. No. Going into I'm curious about the king and the king and the queen of the ring matches. Listen, my personal favorite match is going to be Gunther and Sheamus, because listen, you were going to have chops versus bangers and burgers, and that's always going to be a great match. So it to me, in a way, it's like, oh great, we're getting that match, but you're like, man, we all kind of sense that maybe Sheamus is going to maybe listen. Stranger things have happened, so he may not take the L. Yeah. But with the Ricochet and Dragunov match, I get what people may not like it, but I'm super curious to see, because look, I think we're getting contrasting styles, and if done properly, it could be a great match, because Dragunov's strength versus Ricochet, speed, him being the champion, so the speed champion, so. And with the Queen of the Ring, I got my eye out for some reason, like Zoe Stark to me standing out, like Lyra Valkyrie. I'm curious to see where they go with the Queen of the Ring, So that's a lot to look forward to, and like I say, I'm just super curious to see where they kind of go with the tournament, and it feels like it's exciting now. Looking something to look forward to, and like I said, I'm curious to see when we'll see Jade. Will Jade and Bianca show up tomorrow night? Now that they can go across both shows, because there's some contenders over on Raw in terms of the women's tag team division. So I'm curious to see it on that front as well.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you just said. I'm gonna say, I would like to see, as far as the King and Queen of the Ring, I agree to an extent with Zoe. because they haven't really used her a whole lot, and it would be nice to see her in a not really a permanent spot, but something more than what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, she is more than just a tag team with Shayna. I mean, she can work by herself. She's shown that in NXT and on the main roster. I would like Valkyria as well for the women, but as far as the men, honestly, I would like to see Ilya win, but I think it's going to be Gunther. And I do think Jade and Bianca may show up tomorrow. Just like you said, Raw has plenty of talent that they could use as a tag team or tag teams in general, and figure out who their next challenger is going to be.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome if they, if not a celebration, they probably need to do that on SmackDown since that's where they're originally drafted to.
Yeah.
But I think they do need to make a presence there on Raw. But also, I also want to say I think Ilya, and if they do this right, you put Ilya and Gunther on TV. Whoo! Yeah, just give them a half hour. Give them an hour. Just let them go. Just let them go. You're not going to be
an Iron Man match.
I mean, and then whoever goes up against that person, good luck, because the person that survives is going to win the match. I hate to tell you, but I mean, or what would be great? I'm going to go here. If Ilya gets screwed over by Ludwig Kaiser and basically delays the inevitable, I think that would just do a watch out, because it would not surprise me. Something like that. Yeah. I think we need to have something where Gunther and Kaiser are like, we don't want this to happen just yet. We remember what happened last time, because Ilya made him tap out. And if you can't remember that, trust me, that's one of those I still can't get over. So, and by the way, thank you there. Want to make sure I can show it. Shout out to the panel. Thank you, Tip. Appreciate you. We're still hanging and banging. We're about to close out here. So look, guys, check us out on Tuesday. We're going to be doing our review. We'll even review some of SmackDown. And then also, the last thing we heard about Impact, they had 500 buys. I don't know about this one. So we'll look it up, or at least try to find out some results. But man, TNA, I mean,
it did pretty good. I don't know how good, but
yeah, the card wasn't so bad. I just didn't get to see the whole. I did see Broken Matt. You want to talk about someone that showed up and is in the main event spot? Matt Hardy, who doesn't even have a full-time contract. Yeah. With Tank 7 and Speedball, which I don't mind Tank, and or Trent 7. I don't mind Speedball. I just kind of go, what?
That was a little odd of a thrown together tag team.
Yeah, that was like tag team blender, and someone just threw those names in there.
Yeah.
And someone was like, oh, dang, I was hoping for Hammerstone and Speedball. But anyway, so yeah. Man, that would be a pretty interesting match too. But
all of Speed and Mountain of Mustache.
Yes, the Mountain of Mustache. I just Matt Hardy, you are a rare bird, bro. You really are. All right, so guys, plug your stuff, and we're gonna see you on Tuesday. And then I'll follow with the following thoughts. Ladarius.
Well, you can follow me on social media at Ladarius_Brown, as you see here, on both Twitter or X and on TikTok. There's _Brown on Instagram. I do little writing. I do writing for Beyond Women's Sports as well. So, my stuff as well. I write about women's wrestling there as well. So check it out, and hope everyone have a great and fantastic rest of the day.
All right, Jerry, plug your stuff and let's go.
So mostly everywhere is Viking Gaming 91, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I also have a Lone Wolf Jerry Nelms Facebook page as well. Viking Gaming 91 on YouTube, which there's not really anything on there.
Eventually, one day. All right. Well, guys, you can find us on the C Double channel on YouTube, C Double 28. C Double Facebook is where you can also find our stuff, as well as C Double or Christopher Clavel. That's me on Facebook, and we share it all. We want to thank Everything's Wrestling. I want to thank Pro Wrestling 101. Also want to thank a few more groups. The C Double chat group, we're trying to modify it. I'm adding more people. Ladarius, we got to get you in there because you and Jerry are going to be running it with me. So we'll see how that rolls. But also, I want to thank Berto. Want to thank the eye test. Want to thank Atlanta Bird Gang. Want to thank you guys for letting us post our stuff. And eventually, my goal is to do a sports show also, as well as just like one of those shows where we could do an open forum on what we think about the football and Hawks and all that good stuff in Atlanta sports. So get ready, folks. It's wrestling. It may kind of not feel like it's not WrestleMania season, but trust me, it's a lot of stuff still happens. This is where all the foundation stuff's going down. And also be tuned to the channel because you never know. I may try to lock up an interview and we'll have someone on to talk wrestling with. All right. So for me, Lone Wolf Jerry, for Ladarius Sexual Chocolate and his water, we will bid you adieu. We hope you enjoyed the Backlash show. I'm C Double. See you at the weekend review on Tuesday at 5. All right. I'm out, guys. Peace.